Every year, as Christians in the West, we gather to celebrate Christmas, our Saviour's birth. But before we dive into the festivities, let's pause and acknowledge something we often overlook. Yes, we know about the pagan traditions that have been wrapped into this season, and it's important to stay aware of those. And of course, we understand that Jesus likely wasn't born on December 25th. Yet none of this should overshadow the truth that Christmas is a celebration of the Saviour's first coming to the world.
Picture this: a quiet night in the ancient town of Bethlehem over 2,000 years ago. In the Roman Empire, amidst political turmoil and uncertainty, a child is born. But this wasn't just any birth. This child wasn't born in a generic stable somewhere. He was born in Israel, a real place with a real history, chosen by God for a reason. Jesus, the Jewish Messiah, entered the world in a land that would forever hold his significance.
In the years before his birth, the prophets spoke with stunning clarity about the location, the time, and the purpose of this arrival. Micah 5 verse 2 declared, "But you, Bethlehem Ephrathah, though you are little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of you shall come forth to me the one to be ruler in Israel." Bethlehem wasn't just a random town, it was God's appointed place, a real place in a real land where prophecy was about to be fulfilled.
Imagine the significance of that night, where the Saviour of the world, the King of Kings, was born into such a humble setting, with the shepherds and the Magi rushing to see the newborn child. They weren't just witnessing the birth of a baby, they were witnessing the fulfilment of God's promises to Israel. Promises that had been spoken of for centuries. As we think about that, we need to remember that Israel isn't just a metaphorical place. In Zechariah 14 verse 4, we are told that in that day his feet will land on the Mount of Olives, which faces Jerusalem on the east. This is not just a spiritual truth or an abstract concept. Jesus is coming back to the very land where he first walked, and to the same mountain where he ascended to heaven. His return will be physical, in a physical place.
In 1940, against all odds, Israel was re-established as a nation. This wasn't just some political maneuver, it was the fulfillment of God's promises to the Jewish people. The land Jesus knew and loved was restored, showing just how true God is to his word.
In the midst of all the holiday celebrations, it's easy to forget the significance of this. But as we celebrate Christmas, let's remember the story isn't just about a baby born in a manger. It's about the Jewish Messiah, born in the land of Israel, fulfilling prophecies that go all the way back to the Old Testament. And it's about a real physical place, a place that plays a pivotal role in his return.
As you think about the nativity scenes, the carols, and the joy of this season, remember where the story began, where God chose to send his son into the world. Israel, a real place, a land that is central to God's plan. The same land where Jesus will one day return. This Christmas, let that truth stir your heart and encourage you that the promises of God are sure. He is faithful to his word.
As we celebrate his birth, let us not forget the place he chose, for it is a living testimony of the faithfulness of God. And the very land where he first came is where he will come again.